My name is Tanner Hansen. I'm 14 and I'm from Jaysville, Wisconsin. This is WrestleWorks.
Awesome, Tanner. Well, welcome to WrestleWorks number 2. So first off, how would you describe yourself as a wrestler?
Kind of finicky, but when I...
Finicky?
Yeah.
Okay.
I end up usually, I score when I mean to score. But before that, I end up being finicky. But then when I end getting up the urge, then I usually score pretty good.
Okay. And talk to me a little about your wrestling experience so far. Because what I was aware of last time is you started in like 3rd grade?
Yep.
And then you took a little break?
Yeah,
Talk to me about the break.
When I was in 3rd grade, I had an off year. So I was like 8, and I didn't think I was gonna do it when I was 8. But then I started watching guys like Keno Tool, Dan Fix, you, and it all brought me back into wrestling. And my 8th grade year, I really got back into it, and then my freshman year, I just put everything I had into it. So it's been a lot of fun lately.
Well, I'm glad you're back in the sport.
Yeah, me too.
How would you rate your wrestling on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being like, man, Kyle Snyder.
I'd say probably like a 4 or 5.
4 or 5, okay. And what's the reason behind there, and what could get you closer to 10?
Reason behind that is definitely I'm not Spencer Lee, but
Well, you're freaking Tanner.
yeah. Even in the off season, I'm just gonna keep grinding, keep lifting, and showing up in the off season. Keep doing tournaments, and someday I'll be up there.
Well, I know last time too, I gave you protein and creatine. Have you been on the grind?
I have been on the grind.
How's the protein tasting so far? Was that
I think that's like awesome.
Was that the cinnamon one?
Yeah, it's good.
It's rated on a scale of 1 to 10.
9.5.
It's really good.
It's good.
All right. Well, maybe go check her out. What do you think are your biggest struggles in wrestling?
Biggest struggles is that my shots are slow motion.
Yes. So me and Tanner got in the room a week ago, and that's one thing I kind of noticed, and kind of what we kind of practiced on a little bit was just how to get faster on those shots, because like you have strength, but it's more like the speed, and you're kind of telegraphing your shots.
Yeah.
So when we get to roll around here, and we'll see where we are, and maybe we'll break some barriers today and kind of get better.
Yep.
Awesome. You have any more thoughts going in?
No, that's all.
What was one thing, if you want to learn one thing, what would you want to learn, or to come out of this experience?
To have a faster shot. Not to telegraph my shots.
All right, let's do it. Let's get warmed up. Before we go further into the video, if you guys are running low on your supplements, no better place to go than Rise. Whether you want pre-workout like this Godzilla Blue Raspberry, this is the Fruity Crunch loaded protein, and I know you guys are all working out, getting stronger, but it doesn't mean anything if you're not getting the right things put back into your body. So once again, go to risesubs.com, using code Cayden, you get 15% off, and that helps out the channel. Let's get back to the vid. Alrighty, so Tanner, you said the word that described you was finkity? What did you say?
Finicky.
Finicky,
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever that word, I don't necessarily know, but I think I can understand where that's coming from. Now, just a couple things I would say, wrestling you, kind of what it feels like, a couple key, I would say just basically positioning, just how, like, being strong in certain positions and being loose in other positions is gonna allow you to be a lot better.
So one thing I just know, like when we're in the hand fight here, when I just kind of got my hands, and you see already how you're, it's just like your arm is just hanging there. Well, what's kind of the reason for hanging? Do you even have a reason?
No, not really.
Okay, so the only thing I say that is because everything in wrestling, there should be like a meaning behind it. Meaning if I go here and let's say you place your hand here like you're doing, like because there's no reason, I'm gonna use that to my advantage. So no matter what you're gonna do, you have a reasoning for that. So let's say I post here, what is some things that you think you can do?
Post back.
Post back, okay. What about working on the elbow too? You got that elbow tie? So like, yep, so like even when you collar tie me a little bit, you might have seen me working in here, I was grabbing this elbow. And because I have this elbow, that controls me to do, I can do a high C, I can do a swoop single, you know, I can push my head in here, get good position. But kind of a couple things, just kind of when we're wrestling around, it just seems like your hands are kind of loose, when instead, your hands should be like almost like super strong. Like get up there, like push the guy a little bit, get in there, right? And get some, like even just getting hand control in your neutral ties. So do a couple reps of, let's just kind of engage, whether I engage with you, you engage with me, and let's go for the wrist. And let's focus on, let's say if I post and you're working on this elbow. Just working on pushing, pulling, circling, and just creating angles. So we'll go with that for a little bit. Yeah, see, you're still, hold on. When you're right here, what's the reasoning behind this? Because from here, what I can do is I'm gonna drop this and I'm gonna drag. It just looked pretty easy. Instead, because you have such good reach and good length, one thing that you can use to your advantage, because a lot of times I wanna be close to you. What you can do is, because you're so long, it takes me a lot farther to shoot, because for you to go on a penetration shot, it's like less distance, yep, that's less distance for you than if I were to take a shot and we're at the same distance. I have to go so much farther. So, when I say that, is be strong and know your distance. Let's say if I'm engaging to you, you can circle away too, a little bit. You don't always have to play into my game. So, just kind of again there, with your hands, even if it's just a hit. Let's say if you post on me, what I can do here, I can hit head and then hit hand. I don't have to like keep that on my shoulders, I guess. You don't have to do that. So let's work on like some snaps too, if like I'm pressuring you. There you go. Definitely, that was good. How do you think that felt?
I think it felt
just a little bit better?
Yeah, a lot better, a lot smoother.
Because yeah, I think you feel more in control by doing that. It's not kind of letting the other guy kind of go on the attack. It's you seeing what are your strengths and playing into your strengths, you know what I mean? So next thing, I think what you did a lot better this time was definitely telegraphing shots. There's still some work we can do, but just for now, let's go back to that double leg. So, hold on, I want to say this too. Shoot how you were shooting that one day when like we were doing those practices. Let's see if you can mimic the double leg you were doing. So, yeah, it was just like that. Yes. But the good thing is, it's not that slow. It is not that slow. Show it how you're doing it today. Basically, it was a lot better today. Yeah, definitely a lot better. And even, one thing we went over too is when we're hitting a double leg, we're hitting the guy right into the chest and we're just driving through. Because of his length, he's so long compared to just like the guys he's probably gonna be wrestling. When he goes in on a shot, his arms are gonna be like already wrapped around my legs when he's hitting my chest right in there. So again, on these though, remember, when we're wrestling here, we can level change, and if you have a quicker level change to a penetration shot, that's how you get faster. So instead of when you were just like here and shooting, that was good. The only thing is the level change to the shoot, to the shot. So let's work on that. Maybe do some circle me, wait for me to step, and then level change, go. Almost like you level change. Even another thing I do is kind of like a back step. I level change, and it's like it's like reloading a gun basically. But let's see it. Oh, yeah. One more time, one more good one. Other than those neutral things, I think those were the biggest things. A couple things though on your top game that I do want to show. So if you want to go referee's position, I'll show you some things that you can kind of practice on me. So one thing that I saw that you really didn't have was basically just a way to get my weight all on my hands. So a lot of times it was, I know you tried just to kind of like get it kind of like a big hit. You telegraph the hit really bad, and then you kind of went to the just the bar, which is a great move, but I think it's the setup on how to get to that move. Yeah. So let's try this. One thing that I want you to do. So in wrestling, my goal, instead of having his weight on your heels, that's where you want to be. So I want to get all the weight on your hands. And a couple ways I can do that is I can thigh pry. Basically, I'm going to have my chest. I'm going to drive right in your back on an angle as I'm thigh prying and getting all the weight on your hands. And ideally, you're not going to be like that sprawled out, but even just like, and I'll show you what you can do here. There's a couple things. So let's say I thigh pry you, boom. What I can do is I can come in and like a double leg, cut across. And from here, you already got the guy flattened out, and that's how you can get to your moves. So let me show you. When I want to thigh pry, when I go to the double leg, I'm getting this tight waist. So as we can see here, as you can see on the camera, that I already have a tight waist here. So when the guy's down, this is where you can go right here. Maybe you can drive into his arm, and look what I got. I got myself the bar arm, then you go over. Ooh, is your arm okay? Yeah. I heard a pop in there. So let's focus on that. If you can get my weight on my hands and even go into that double leg there, get that tight waist, and then you can get that bar arm. Yep, jab across. Wait. Yep, this is the arm that's supposed to be deep, yep. And then what you can do, you're gonna place your right arm over this elbow. And then drive me this way. You don't even have to pull this in, just drive me this way. Just drive it over, yep. And from here, you can get it, sink your hand. Yep, there it is. And then you can grab my wrist too with this hand, boom, and then tilt me. Woo, right there. The only thing too, I would say, is a little more pressure from your chest to get me on my hands. And even like, just be like tight in that position. Yep, and then hold on. So yep, and then just drive across, and yep, this one's deep, boom. Drive over, just drive, yep. That is it. Oh, yep. Yeah, and that's tight there. Yeah, definitely he's got long hands. So when you're doing turns, you're in a phenomenal position. Just if you get a guy on even just like a 2-on-1, you have a way better chance of just honestly teching a guy off the bat because your hands just wrap around the guy's arms. Yeah. So like there's a guy on our team, Tori, who had the longest fingers ever. Like he could climb more rope than anyone, and he was like a tilt specialist. So I'd really focus on that. As long as you're getting weight forward, and then as soon as you have a good setup, that's how you can get your turns in. Right. You want to do a best of 3?
Sure.
Let's do it. You're fast. Alrighty, Tanner. So, what'd you think of it today?
I think I improved a lot already, and I'm glad that I learned to be faster this practice.
Mm-hmm. I'd say so. And a big thing too was that positioning. Like if you can remain strong in those positions, and instead of like, honestly, like it's easy for people to fall into like a lazy collar tie, but kind of having that mentality of no matter where I step or where I place my hand, there's gotta be a reason for it. Yeah. And if you can do that, I guarantee you're gonna get a lot more takedowns, a lot more wins, but that's like such a big thing. Like if you think about wrestling position. So like even if you think about during a match, if I stay in perfect wrestling position, I will win the match. Yeah. Like that's basically, like you don't even have to shoot. If you stay in good position, shots are gonna be open for you. Yeah. So that was a big thing too. And again, you should be really, really confident with, honestly, like your God-given ability of like your height at your weight, and like you have a great build for wrestling. And so I'd really just grow upon that. What do you think is the #1 piece of advice that you would give to a wrestler in your situation?
In my situation, I'd tell them to not give up too early, because that's what I did and I've regretted it. So, but just keep putting in the work in the off season and you'll get there.
Yeah. What are your career goals in wrestling?
I really want a state title. Like either any year, I just want to at least place, but I'm gonna always shoot to win state and then carry on to nationals.
I'd say so. If you had one, let's say, life goal other than wrestling, maybe it is Olympics if you want to, but what would be one life goal you want to accomplish?
Oh, Olympics is one for sure.
Yeah.
But another thing is just to make people proud and then influence others that have been in my situation as well.
Awesome. I love it. Well, this concludes it. Thank you so much for coming on, Tanner. Any last words?
No, but thanks for having me.
Awesome. Perfect. Cool.
Let me know if you on skate. Rollin' with a gang. Totally, man, you shade. Told it with a gang.